This is under my desk. My feet have no room to move under my desk. There's so many packages. Oh my goodness. We're going to open up something from November of 2024. I'm going to pick randomly. Now, I did not open this stuff up for a year from eBay. We'll pick this one randomly. November 12th, 2024. It is now October 27, 2025. Now, truthfully, I didn't really open this stuff because I've been depressed for a really long time. And one of my favorite pastimes is shopping, buying antiques and holy relics. And I just felt depressed and I just let that stuff pile up. So let's get going in fast motion. This is really odd. Yeah, I don't even remember ever ordering this, and that's pretty scary. So by one look at this, you can see that this is really old, and it's on its original card stock, and it was actually, look at that, it was sewn on. This is pretty old, but I'm going to try to find out how old it really is. But I'm going to guess early 1900, 1910, maybe even 1920. This is wood. I don't know if you could see the wood. And Jesus is really tarnished. And look at that. What kind of wood is this? I think it's ebony. And ebony is like a black wood. Oh, it says something. It says, real ebony. Isn't that really cool? Now, why would they make a big deal out of ebony? I mean, it's actually on a piece of metal. Why is it so important that it says real ebony? Is it like gold or something? AI is proving to be very, very good. I asked the Google search if ebony is expensive, and it says, yes, ebony is very expensive, primarily due to its low growth rate, rarity, high demand, and conservation status for many species. Ebony wood is considered extremely scarce and one of the rarest hardwoods in the world, which is the primary reason for its very high cost. This scarcity is driven by a combination of factors. Slow growth rate. Ebony trees from the Diospyros genus grow exceptionally slowly. It can take anywhere from 70 to 200 years for a tree to reach usable size and produce the desirable pure black heartwood. Small tree size. The trees are generally small diameter, and only the dark heartwood is used, meaning there is a very low yield of usable lumber per tree. Finding long, clear, and defect-free boards is exceptionally rare. Overexploitation and illegal logging. Historically, the high demand for its unique properties led to severe overharvesting, causing a dramatic decline in natural populations across its native habitats in Africa and Asia. Conservation status. Many species of ebony are now officially classified as threatened or endangered. Gabon ebony, Diospyros classiflora, is often listed as endangered on the IUCN Red List. Mun ebony from Vietnam and Laos is listed as critically endangered, and its export is often banned. Makassar ebony, Diospyros syllabica, is listed as vulnerable. Trade restrictions. Due to its threatened status, the international trade of many ebony species is heavily regulated by the organization like CITES, Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. This strict regulation further limits the legal availability and supply in the market. In short, its extreme properties, extreme density, fine grain, and jet black color create a high demand, while its slow growth and conservation status severely restrict the supply, making it exceptionally scarce. AI comes through again. Ebony crucifixes have a long history, often featuring ebony wood for its symbolism of the mourning, mortality, and the somber nature of the crucifixion. While metal like brass was used for durability and cost effectiveness, they became popular, particularly in the 19th and early 20th centuries, often mass-produced for rosaries and devotional use in Europe. The combination of black ebony and metal represents both the sorrow of Christ's death and the enduring power of faith. European production. Ebony crucifixes, especially those made for rosaries, were mass-produced in Europe from the late 19th to early 20th century. The cross itself was often made of ebony or ebonized, given a black finished wood. They were frequently inlaid with other materials like rosewood or ebony beads. Older examples, particularly from the 17th to 19th centuries, rarely have manufacturing marks, while newer reproductions are more likely to have them. Some ebony crucifixes were designed to hold relics of saints. These can often be identified by a compartment, sometimes hidden or in the center or ends of the cross containing a small piece of cloth or bone, which I'm about to show you in a moment. I have multiples of these in my collection. I think I have about 15 of these that hold the relics of the saints with the ebonized wood with metal trim going around it. It's amazing that they could fit such tiny little parts of the saint in each one of these reliquary crucifixes that open up. Now, most of these were German. Now, the ones that I have in my collection are like these. They have the metal trim going around them, and these are from the 19th century. And it's really interesting to see how these things were made. Yes, I have multiples of these in my collection as well. On the back is the Sacred Heart of Jesus medallion, and on the front we have Christ on the crucifix. with the inlay of ebony wood surrounded by a metal trim. And it says that these old crucifixes were made by hand. Usually you can still see the grinding and file marks. They are not perfectly symmetrical. And the crucifixes with a manufacturing hallmark stamped on them are generally newer, late 1800s, early 1900s. The older ones, early 1700s to late 1800s, seldom have a manufacturing mark, or sometimes a blacksmith mark. They can be inlaid with almost anything. Usually the inlay reflects the character of the rest of the rosary. Hence, ebony bead rosaries, usually, but not always, have ebony inlaid crucifixes. Now, I have multiples of those in my collection too, which I'm about to show you. And they're showing you the different versions of the same type of crucifixes with different types of metal work. And if you notice the one on the right here that I'm showing you, see the lines and the edges? That's from file marks because these were handmade. Now, I just want to show you the bunk that people actually write in their descriptions just to sell anything. So I found a similar one on Etsy. And I mean, while it's not identical, it's like almost you could tell it's like probably from around the same time it was made. And they sold this for $99. And read what it says. World War II antique pictorial religious cross found in Germany, used by priest in battle to give last rites to soldier. How do we know that that's even true? I mean, it says vintage from 1910s, but then he writes World War II battlefield. You see, people will give anything interesting description just to get it to sell. I found one on Etsy that's similar, and this was being sold in Germany. And it says, I had to translate it, ancient bronze, shield cross crucifix on black wood with an unusual INRI plaque, early 20th century, from a former convent, I guess that's the translation, an ancient bronze chantre crucifix on black painted wood, primitive with an unusual INRI plaque with tassels, and in my Google search, there is no other like it. So this is a really cool old find, and the wood back then wasn't as rare as it is now. It was way less endangered until they just started churning this stuff out like crazy. And then it became very, very hard to get this wood. So back then it wasn't as rare. It was rare, but not as rare. It was more affordable. So now we know that we have a really expensive piece of wood, extremely expensive piece of wood. Let's go in and check out the grains of that wood. Look at that. That is just beautiful. Look at these old nails. I'm going to guess that this is Edwardian. When I say Edwardian, I mean 1900 to about, I'm going to say 1920. Look at the wood grain. Let's check that out. Look at that. A placard. It even has a placard because they were trying to tell the person who was buying it, this is very, very exclusively expensive. Here we go again. I'm just trying to show you guys the how blackened this wood is. And the beautiful grain going throughout it. Jesus needs to be polished. And I don't think I'm going to polish this. I'm going to keep the patina on this. Look at this old piece. Really beautiful. Look at the placard. And again, look at that wood grain. So I hope we learned something today. We actually learned that ebony wood is very expensive and very rare and actually almost extinct, basically. And so that back in the day when this was made, it wasn't such a problem. But now it is. And so I hope you learned something. Am I willing to sell it? The answer is no, because an example like this on the original card it was sold on is extremely uber rare. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all soon on the next unboxing.